Hi, Miss and Simpanzeng from Group 12. Another team member is Wong Chong Keng, Pang Jing Kong, Barnabas, and Fang Jia. Now let's start to our presentation. Fin trade, advancing sustainability, which is essential to ensure continuous economic growth and improve the quality of life, while protecting the environment and ensuring the health of the planet. In this regard, Fin trade of the 12 measure plan focus on advancing green growth, improving the energy sustainability, and also transforming the water sector. Now I'm going to talk about the game changers that we choose in 12 measure plan, which is game changer Act, embracing the circular economy. And why do we need to embrace the circular economy? This measure aims to move itself from the conventional linear economy model to the sustainable circular economy model. This will enable the country to achieve a systematic shift toward long-term resilience, eliminate the unsustainable consumption and production practice, and also address the issue of the climate change, environmental degradation, and biodiversity loss. The implementation of the circular economy model requires a comprehensive set of the initiatives that include adopting the whole of nature approach involving all stakeholders, integrating the SDG in ESG in principle into decision making, and also encourage the businesses to develop the circular economy design and sharing the economy model and other initiatives. Now let us go into the chapter 8, advancing green growth for sustainability and resilience.
I'm Wong Chong King, and now I'm going to present about the performance of the 11 Malaysia Plan. The first thing that I want to discuss is performance of selected targets achieved of 11 Malaysia Plan. There are three targets that have been achieved for 11 Malaysia Plan. The first target that need to be achieved is government green procurement, which is to achieve 20% of the average of government green procurement for selected green products and services. Between 2016 and 2019, government green procurement was 20.7%, which exceeding the target of the 20%. Next, development of integrated system is also one of the important criteria to achieve. The target for it is developing integrated weather and flood forecasting system and expand integrated weather and flood forecasting early warning system has been developed for the Sungai Kelantan, Sungai Pahang, and Sungai Terengganu river basins during 2020. The third target that had been achieved is conserving 30% of national recycling rate of household waste. The recycling rate of national domestic waste exceed the target of 30% and reached the target of 30.7% by 2020. At the same time, progress has been made in achieving the target of reducing greenhouse gas emission intensity and flood control. After that, government had launched initiatives for 11 Malaysia Plan, and now let's see how is the performance of selected initiatives. First, government has some improvement in governance and financing. The National Transport Policy was introduced to improve integration and to support the low carbon mobility agenda. A joint committee on climate change was also established in 2019 by the Bank Negara Malaysia and Securities Commission to create greater synergy in developing climate-related solutions. Moreover, government also focused on the natural resources conservation. Operasi Bersepadu Khazanah was launched in 2019. It is a strategic collaborative operation between PDRM and Perhilitan. This operation is supported by several government agencies and civil society organizations to curb encroachment, poaching, and illegal taking of wild fauna and flora. Lastly, climate change and disaster risk is also one of the attention of the government. In the transport sector, the B10 biodiesel blend containing 10% palm methyl ester was introduced in 2019, while higher Euro 4M standard for RON 95 was implemented in 2020 in order to reduce greenhouse gas emission. That's all from me. Thank you.
During the 11 plan period, a number of initiatives were implemented to pursue green growth in achieving environmental sustainability and resilience. However, to accelerate green growth, several challenges must be addressed. These include sustainable consumption and production practice, the loss of biodiversity, and the lack of a supportive and enabling environment. In Malaysia, most economy sectors have been practicing the linear economy, which is efficient in his use of resources and generating high volume of waste. The unsustainable consumption and production practice are detrimental to the environment and long-term economic resilience. These practices have also resulted in expensive cleanup and mitigation measures. For example, approximately 6,000 people were affected by the illegal dumping of toxic waste into Sungai King Kim Johor in March 2019, and about 8.5 million ringgit Malaysia was spent to clean up the river. Moreover, the loss of biodiversity is also a challenge that influences achieving environmental sustainability and resilience. The slow regeneration and overexploitation of natural resources exacerbate the pressures on biodiversity. Habitat loss and illicit activities such as poaching and illegal tagging, as well as illegal trade and consumption of wild flora and fauna, has treated endangered species. River pollution has shown to be an increasing issue which requires immediate attention. The number of polluted rivers increased from 33 in 2015 to 51 in 2017 out of 477 rivers monitored, whereas in 2019, 59 out of the 672 were polluted. Several pollution incidents between September and November 2020 at Sungai Selangor and Sungai Gong in Selangor, as well as Sungai Patang Bena in Negeri Sembilan, disrupted the water supply to millions of consumers. Next, the third challenge is the lack of a supportive enabling environment. The involvement of various authorities with different legislation pose serious challenges to the management of natural resources and the environment. There is also another governance-related issues, including limited enforcement capacity, inadequate monitoring, reporting and evaluation, as well as insufficient R&D and C&I. Furthermore, there is also a lack of ownership and shared responsibility among stakeholders in effectively managing the environment and biodiversity, despite numerous efforts undertaken to enhance environmental awareness.
Hi Miss, I'm Yakalan Barnabas, and now I'm going to talk about the priorities for advancing green growth for sustainability and resilience. There are three priorities, and they are A, B, and C. Priority A is about implementing a low carbon, clean, and resilient development. To achieve sustainable socio-economic growth, a low-carbon, clean and resilient development strategy will be executed. The focus will be on initiatives to achieve low-carbon nation status, quicken the transition to a circular economy, and share pollution reduction responsibility. So there are two goals in priority A. The first one is goal 1, which is moving towards a low-carbon nation. Climate change will be addressed across all sectors by the government. In this regard, collaborative efforts between the federal, state, and local governments, along with the private sectors and CSOs, will be stepped up to support the nation's transition to a low-carbon country. In order to meet Malaysia's commitment under the UNFCCC's Paris Agreement to reduce up to 45% of GHG emissions intensity to GDP by 2030 based on emissions intensity in 2005, the focus will be on constructing climate action enabling instruments such as carbon pricing. Additionally, the efforts will be directed towards promoting green and resilient cities and townships, improving green mobility, increasing the consumption of low-carbon energy, and expanding the green market and GDP. Moving on to the second goal, which is promoting green, resilient cities and townships. Green and resilient city concepts such as the low-carbon city and smart city will be used in the development of cities and townships, including industrial estates. These approaches will be implemented to address climate change and disaster risk, as well as increase resource efficiency. As a result, Green and resilient cities techniques will be used in the development of cities and townships in Malaysia. Furthermore, a master plan for low-carbon cities will be introduced to guide and organize low-carbon initiatives at the municipal level. Meanwhile, among the construction sector's focus areas will be the development of sustainable and resilient infrastructure and buildings, as well as the promotion of environmentally friendly construction materials. The performance of green and resilient cities and townships will be tracked in order to achieve continual progress in the pursuit of sustainable development.
Hi, Miss Fanchal, and I'm going to present Priority B, which is managing natural resource efficiently to safeguard nature capital. Efficient natural resources management will ensure the long-term viability of nature capital, economic growth, and global health. As a result, it's critical to strike a balance between utilizing resources for social economy, development, and protecting nature. Well, in this regard, the emphasis will be on conserving ecosystem, protecting specific and genetic resources, guaranteeing sustainable resources use and benefit sharing, and improving water resource conservation. And the first goal of this priority is at least 20% terrestrial and inland water area conserved through government and other effective area-based conservation measures. A special task force will be formed to advertise the designation of protected area for terrestrial and inland waterway. Furthermore, a framework for other effective area-based conservation measures 18 will be established to promote protection of nature area, including geopark and inland waterway, in order to preserve at least 15 forests cover over the whole land area. Aside from that, multi-stakeholder engagement will be expanded to increase forest restoration, rehabilitation, and enrichment. The business sector will be encouraged to take an active role in forest rehabilitation project. Other corporations, for example, are invited to follow Nestle lead and commit to planting 3 million trees through Project Relief by 2023. Next, the second goal is coastal and marine area conserved through government and other effective area-based conservation measures. Rehabilitation programs such as beach replenishment, mangrove planting, and the development of artificial reef will improve the protection and management for coastal and marine environment. Particularly through multi-stakeholder engagement, conservation effort will also be stepped up by creating, executing, and revising management plan for marine protected area, as well as conducting research to identify possible MPA and OECM framework for coastal and marine environment will also be created. The Coral Triangle Initiative Regional Plan of Action will be revised to focus on enhancing the health of coastal and marine ecosystems, guaranteeing food security, and boosting climate resilience. Thank you.
Moving on to Priority C, which is strengthening the enabling environment for effective governance. Environmental governance will be strengthened to enable better management of the environment and natural resources. Efforts will be undertaken to improve policies, legislation, and institutional frameworks, as well as strengthen the capability of local authorities. The goal for Priority C will be strengthening institutional framework and human capital. A strong institutional framework is imperative to ensure effective and coordinated management and implementation of environment-related policies and legislation. State governments will be recommended to establish a task force on sustainable development to monitor, assess, and report the implementation and performance of sustainable development initiatives, including conserving, addressing climate change, and reducing disaster risk. Other than that, a green economic model will be developed by leveraging the green economy indicators and the system of environmental economic accounting for Malaysia to support macroeconomic planning and impact analysis. Comprehensive evidence-based and risk-informed decision-making is fundamental in addressing cross-cutting environmental issues. The one-stop environment-related data center will be strengthened by improving data sharing among various stakeholders, including the private sector and CSOs. To advance green growth, efforts will be made to develop talent with knowledge and skills in sustainable development. Both the public and commercial sectors will be encouraged to invest in developing talent with multiple skill sets, particularly in the fields of green finance and environmental economics.
Let's move to the 2022 national budget, which is allocated for advancing sustainability. Amongst the third focus initiative for GHG, industry will also be encouraged to adopt the green technology and best practice and implement the green growth initiative. BNN will provide a low carbon transition facility with a value capital of 1 billion in accordance with matching funding arrangement with participating financial institutions. The second initiative is on environment and biodiversity. The government will allocate 450 million ringgit to various ministries to implement various initiatives, which include the National Conservation Project and assisting with joint operation costs, a tree planting campaigns with the target of 20 million trees per year, and others. In the comment part, stakeholders hope that the 12 Malaysia Plan will also respond positively to the sustainable development goals and address the challenge of the climate change. A green policy does not mean halting the development. In fact, we can release job opportunity for the people in the process of the building green infrastructure. That's all for us. Thank you.